just being a part of the growth of the National Football League. That, to me, is the greatest thrill or event in my life.
The 1983 Chicago Bears played with the kind of spirit and style that would have made Hollis proud.
A Hall of Fame is a place that honors people that are exceptional at what they do. It exists to remind future generations of the greatness of these people from the past. Did you know that God has a Hall of Fame to remember the extraordinary people of faith who were written about in the Old Testament? And we can find that Hall of Fame in the New Testament of the Bible. Hebrews 11 tells us that faith is the confidence that what we hope for will actually happen. It gives us assurance about things we cannot see.
So tell us briefly just what this night meant to you and kind of culminating your career at Southern University.
Man, this is fantastic. It's really a great night, a great evening. Really just looking forward to the rest of the weekend because how this has all come together is just beyond my wildest dream. When I reflect back on this, I think of everything that went into me getting here, the people along the way, the people that I played with, my teammates. I think me being here is them being here as well.
On January 6, 1985, the Chicago Bears stood within reach of the Super Bowl for the first time. Their journey to San Francisco had been marked by challenges met. And in their wake, the Bears had left a trail of bruised opponents and broken records. But for Chicago, the final step from the NFC Championship game to Super Bowl 19 proved to be beyond reach. The bold journey had ended in frustration. However, the true significance of the Bears' 1984 season lay in the great distance they had come and the hard-fought road upon which they had traveled.
Some of the coaches, Coach Moody, when I first came up, I was a part of the Moody Bears, and we had to fight our way out of the pit. And thinking back of all the hard work that we had to get into, that we put in to get out of the pit. And of course, the different coaches that I had during my tenure there started out with Coach Smith, then Al Tabor, who ended up, I guess, coaching me for 3 years there. But it was just all great. And if I had to do it over again in a heartbeat, I would do it.
One of the most highly rated members of the Chicago front four is tackle Jim Osborne, number 68, a man whose strength and aggressiveness can make a shambles of an opponent's game plan.
Defensive tackle Jim Osborne, number 68, makes things happen. Osborne's style is reckless and aggressive, and most of the time that aggressiveness acts to disrupt the flow of an opponent's play. Where his fierce style is most effective, however, is against the pass. And in 1976, when Osborne begins his 5th year as a Bear, he'll be counted on for more big plays. Number 68, Jim Osborne, has emerged as one of the fiercest pass rushers in the league. On this play, Chambers beats his blocker. And the back, who should be looking for Osborne, must now be concerned with Chambers, leaving Osborne free. With plays like this, Osborne sacked Redskin quarterbacks 3 times, but he can do it on his own too, as witnessed by his 3 sacks on Jim Plunkett of the 49ers.
And Jim Osborne, number 68, whose nickname is Jaws. The Bears play defense well because they play it as a team. In 1979, they allowed the 3rd fewest points in the NFL and recorded 2 shutouts. Defensive ends Mike Hartenstein and rookie Dan Hampton, number 99, were vital contributors. Hampton was the first Chicago rookie starter in 5 years. The leader of the defense is 13-year veteran Alan Page. Page remains a premier defensive tackle, and his ex-teammates in Minnesota realized all too well why he was selected to the All-Star Team of the Decade. Page shared the club lead in sacks with tackle Jim Osborne, and the Bears possessed once more a fearsome defensive front. Over the past 3 seasons, Chicago is completely rebuilt.
In 1983, Soldier Field will be the home of a team contending as the Chicago Bears bid to join the National Football League's winner circle. The Bears will be led and challenged by head coach Mike Ditka, a man who demands dedication and favors innovation. Ditka is assembling and molding the ingredients for success in the 1980s. The Bears' defense blends experience and youth in a bruising formula. Veterans who have been together for years, augmented by young players riding the fast lane to NFL stardom. The result is a cohesive unit that remains aggressive and enthusiastic. Much of the defensive gusto comes from men of modest means, low-round draft choices, and free agents who made the most of their opportunities. Number 76, Steve McMichael.
On October 31st, 1983, professional football bid farewell to its founding father. At the age of 88, George Stanley Hallis passed away. For over 60 years, Coach Hallis and the National Football League were one and the same. Hallis was one of the game's first players, and his many coaching innovations kept pro football moving forward. But it was Hallis's fiery spirit that sparked the Chicago Bears, as no other team so clearly reflected the personality of its head coach. The Bears were the monsters of the Midwest, and they wore their nickname like a badge of honor. In his 40 years as the Bears' head coach, Hallis taught some of the greatest players the game has ever known, and he won a record 8 NFL championships. But more significantly, Papa Bear Hallis left his spirit in the game he loved, and he left his love in the men he touched.
He's a very, very warm person, and you can't help but like George Halas. I love George Halas.
Just being a part of the growth of the National Football League, that to me is the greatest thrill or event in my life.
The 1983 Chicago Bears played with the kind of spirit and style that would have made Halas proud. A pro football team often reflects its city's character, and in Chicago, the work ethic prevails. The Bear defense, true to the image of a city with big shoulders, rolls up its sleeves and puts in a full day's work on Sunday. Like the monsters of the midway before them, Chicago defenders are a punishing, prowling band of tacklers. The Bears notched a team record 51 sacks in 1983. Bear fans have long endured Chicago's bitter cold winter Sundays. The final game of the 1983 season was such a day. The winds off the lake, as well as memories of latter-day December duels with the Packers, increased the chill in Soldier Field.
Play action fake, deep drop by McMahon. Going for it all, down the middle to go. He's down for the touchdown. Will he go?
Warmed by the electricity of an early score, the Chicago defense set out to put Packer playoff hopes in the deep freeze. The Bears iced Green Bay's offense with 4 sacks and 7 turnovers. Offensively, Jim McMahon shrugged off the cold and the Packer defense, running for 1 touchdown and passing for 2 more to give Chicago a 20-14 lead.
Slot to the left. Yep. A play action fake. There's a pass down the right side. Touchdown! Chicago Bears! McKinnon outpaced the quarterback for the end zone. They were sucked.
Green Bay battled back and scored to go ahead late in the game. But with only 10 seconds remaining, Chicago still had 1 more chance.
It all comes down to Bob Thomas. Chance for Bob to be a hero and end the season on a very high note.
There's a snap. The ball is down. The kick is up. It's good! 10 seconds to go. The Bears have taken a 23-21 lead over Green Bay.
The 23-21 win gave the Bears 5 victories in their final 6 games, as these boys of autumn had suddenly become the men of winter.
The Bears won their division championship for the first time in 21 years. They were a special team, possessing the guile and finesse to avoid opponents, as well as the fury and muscle to meet them head on. This winning combination of brains and brawn was the reason the Bears were successful in their battle for first. For these qualities forged the mental and physical toughness essential.
Such triumphs will always rekindle fond memories of yesterday and of a man who is gone but will never be forgotten. George Halas has not abandoned the Chicago Bears, for his spirit will forever be present in every member of the team he built, coached, and made legendary. The Chicago Bears, a team with a proud past and a promising future.
So since God has given us his Hall of Fame of people who have gone before us and had great faith despite hard times, let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who makes our faith perfect, so that one day God may say, "Well done, good and faithful servant," and we may be initiated into his great Hall of Fame.
60 years ago, I offered my heart and my helmet to my Lord. My heart is still beating. My helmet still fits. I pray the divine coach finds me worthy to be on his first team.